Coming up on Fulton Today, the sheriff renews an effort to take guns off the streets. And what you need to know about voting times and locations for the primary and special elections now underway. Fulton Today starts right now. Welcome to Fulton Today, everyone. I'm Lynn Vaughn, in for Shania Chavis-Rucker. The Sheriff's Office joins a new campaign designed to help take a big bite out of crime and violence. It's a gun buyback program. FGTV's Priscilla Ortega has the details.
The goal of the Gun Buyback Project is to reduce violence in Fulton County by getting rid of unwanted firearms in the community. Organizers say public safety depends on gun owners being responsible, and the proper disposal of unneeded firearms is a big part.
We are presently witnessing an epidemic crisis in Atlanta. Guns, guns, guns.
The Fulton County Sheriff's Office, Atlanta Police, and members of the group SAVE, or Stop Atlanta Violence Effectively, announced a major undertaking to help prevent guns from getting in the wrong hands.
Conducted over 1,000 funerals, and a good number has been from gun violence to people who are underage on both sides, those who were killed and those who were the perpetrators.
While gathered at the county jail, the group announced an ambitious goal of raising $100,000 for a gun buyback day.
And this is a choice. The people that come to us, they make the choice to get rid of the weapons.
The gun buyback will be no questions asked to ensure anyone who surrenders a weapon or unused ammunition will receive cash. Sheriff Ted Jackson says there are about 2,600 inmates in the county system. 92% are violent offenders. Supporters say this gun buyback program will help cut down on the violence.
Please understand that mothers across this country, and especially in this city, are crying every day, every night, because somebody has given them a call that their child has been murdered senselessly.
In 2014, the Fulton Sheriff's Office collected about 1,000 guns with this program. This year, organizers hope to collect 3,000 to 5,000. Now, if you want more information, you can go to fultonsheriff.net. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Priscilla Ortega.
And more good news coming from the Sheriff's Office. This next story is a win-win for all involved. After months of training and bonding, it was graduation day for 7 Fulton County inmates and 5 of their new best friends.
All right, my name is Brandon. This is my dog. This is my dog named Brando. One thing I like about him is he's very energetic. All right, sit down.
It's all part of the Sheriff's Canine Cellmate program. The inmates train dogs slated for euthanasia at Fulton County Animal Services.
Serves as a platform for love, you know what I mean? Like, you have strangers coming in, most of whom don't look like me, they're not from where I'm from, and you wonder like, well, why would they, you know, what are they getting in return? And these folks are just doing it because that's who they are, you know? They're loving on folks, they think they're unlovable, so it's an awesome thing.
My dog Jack is the best dog. He graduated top of the class. He accepted me for who I was. He didn't care about my past. He didn't do nothing. And on my days that I wanted to give up, he was there.
Dogs are trained for 10 weeks and must pass their canine certification before they are put up for adoption.
This was a very emotional graduation. This was a very close group of men. They were emotionally open. And so our connection with them was very strong.
And while the dogs are trained to survive and adapt to their new surroundings, a little bit of that training and bonding also leaves a mark on the inmates. Citizens give their input on the future of unincorporated Fulton County. The county's planning staff held a series of meetings last month to get input and feedback from the community. Here to talk about the status of the plan and the importance of citizens' input is Shayla Reed with the Department of Planning and Community Services. Welcome to Fulton Today, Shayla.
Thanks for having me.
First question, what is the comprehensive plan?
A comprehensive plan is a document that allows for us to see our community for 20 years. This document allows for visions and goals to be stated for residents to be able to understand where the community is going for a 20-year process. It is a requirement to have it updated every 5 years, so we're definitely at that process now.
And why is citizen input so important?
The citizens' input is very important in this process. The citizens come out, they tell us what their desires are for the community for the next 20 years, and then us as planners, we take that information and we allow for that to be the actual driver of the comprehensive plan.
Now, how has the citizen input been used to update the plan?
Back in January, we had a series of workshops. During these workshops, they've given us a SWOT analysis and a map assessment. Both exercises allow for residents to state their point of views as to how we're doing now and how they plan for us to be in the next 20 years.
What are some of the land use ideas that citizens have suggested?
That's a great question. They're actually asking for us to look at our land use map and ensure that it's current. They're concerned about, for example, South Fulton Parkway. They want to ensure that we're allowing those uses to be considerable to what's currently happening today, if current infrastructure is present, for example. They may have questions about Fulton Industrial Boulevard. They may say that there are certain uses there that they have a concern about. Residents have been very verbal, very straightforward with how they are seeing their community.
Sounds good. Okay, so what's the next step?
We're wrapping up the first draft. It will be prepared by June. We'll present it over to our commissioners, and from there we'll submit it out in July for the state to review it. We'll have a review process, and once it's been approved and ready for them to allow us to adopt, we will then move forward with adoption by October 2016.
Well, Shayla Reed with the Department of Planning and Community Services, very important information. We thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, thanks again for having me.
The final public hearings on the comprehensive plan will be held later this summer during BOC meetings. If you need more information, you can contact Shayla Reed at the number on your screen. In other county news,
the possibility of cityhood for unincorporated South Fulton is closer to reality. Last month, Governor Nathan Deal signed into law House Bill 514, allowing residents in unincorporated South Fulton to become a city.
I want to thank Representative Bruce and Senator Donzella James for allowing us in South Fulton County to vote again. This is the second time at the bite of the apple to become a city, to decide whether or not we want to. The first time we chose not to, so we have begun to talk to people and see what they really want to do. I think after all the cities that have developed since the last time we voted, we understand the importance of representation for that 120,000 people that live in the district.
It's clear that the city is financially solvent and will continue to be so. And when we get our fair share of the sales tax that we're not getting because we're not a city, this will be a very lucrative and potentially beneficial area for many, many people.
The boundaries of the new city will include unincorporated areas of Fulton County, including Fulton Industrial Boulevard. Supporters of the bill will have until July 1st to complete annexations.
Early voting is underway across the county for the general nonpartisan primary and special election. Citizens can cast ballots at any of 24 locations across the county during the early voting process. Now, you will also be able to cast your vote on the Saturdays of May 7th and 14th, and on 2 Sundays, May 8th and May 15th.
The Saturdays we're open from 8 to 5 at all 24 locations, and on both Sundays we're open noon to 5 at all 24 locations.
Whichever location you choose for early voting, you'll still need a valid photo ID, such as a Georgia driver's license, an employee ID, U.S. passport, or tribal ID. There's a complete list of the candidates on the ballot and more information on early voting locations and ID requirements on the county's registration and elections website. or you can go to the Georgia Secretary of State's website. Citizens learned the importance of one of the county's strategic priority areas, that all people are healthy. Members of the Department of Health briefed Fulton County Citizens University students on the many services the department offers, from citizens' health to environmental health. Students were given information on how to access those services. Many were impressed by the comprehensive and convenient nature of the services.
The wealth of services that the Fulton County offers, to the extent from the drug testing to the communicable diseases to the different services that they actually go out and provide for the community, not only that the community can come in to the various facilities, but they go out to the community and service the mothers, anywhere from the mothers, the elderly, the sick, the diseased. I was very impressed.
Next week, students will learn about housing services and programs for seniors and youth. Citizens in North Fulton respond to a number of health and drug-related issues during a community session. Hear what they had to say and much more in our district-by-district coverage. That's next. A county commissioner takes steps to deal with the issues of heroin use and the HIV epidemic in his North Fulton district. And a South Fulton commissioner gets celebrities to help send kids to summer camp. Here's Melissa Lewis with this week's district-by-district coverage.
We began with Chairman John Eves as he thanks county staff for their hard work in planning the 2016 State of the County. The at-large commissioner hosted a thank you reception to personally express his appreciation to the many departments who pulled together to successfully execute the event. Hundreds gathered at the Loudermilk Center on April 28th to hear county officials give an update on the future of Fulton County. The chairman says he could not have hosted this event without the many weeks of hard work that the staff put in. Both the North and South Fulton Chambers sponsored the event, but it was the Council for Equality that helped the county host the luncheon. District 2 Commissioner Bob Ellis, along with the Fulton County Task Force for HIV/AIDS, convenes a community listening session to solicit input from the North Fulton residents about HIV/AIDS and the heroin issue in Fulton County. Residents gathered at the Alpharetta Public Library to help shape a strategic plan to end both of the health problems in the county. The North Fulton Commissioner was joined by medical professionals and also a mother who lost her son to a heroin overdose.
A big part of this was about awareness, okay, and sharing the information that public stakeholders have been provided, the public office holders have been provided, and talking about that with our citizens and putting that in real terms.
It has to start with, trying to get kids not to ever get started. And then if they are, finding treatment that's reasonably priced that can get people moving forward.
We will have much more of this community listening session and the plan moving forward in our health segment later in the show. District 5 Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr., in collaboration with Friends of South Fulton Parks and Recreation, host a celebrity basketball tournament to raise money to help kids attend Fulton County summer camps. Commissioner Arrington coached a team of celebrities to battle head-to-head against one coached by former Georgia Tech hoop standout and retired NBA player Dennis Scott.
Unfortunately, for the past few years, Welcome All Park has had at least 100 kids on the waiting list for the summer camp. And so our goal today is to raise at least $10,000 so that we can send those 100 kids to summer camp here at Welcome All Park. And hopefully we'll even raise more than that so we can reach out to some of the surrounding parks.
And it's just a blessing, man, to be able to be at a point in my life where not on the road as much as I used to be, but not on the road as much as I used to be, but just able to, give back to my community, man. This is the community I grew up in, and I just ultimately just want to be able to give back.
Besides an afternoon of fun on the basketball court at Welcome All Park, the goal of the event is to raise $10,000 to help support 100 youth to attend Fulton County summer camps. And finally, in District 6, Commissioner Emma I. Darnell joins a tribute to all mothers. Participants at the Harriet G. Darnell Senior Multipurpose Facility participated in the annual Mother's Day program at the center. Through dance performances from the Dancing Divas and spoken word, matriarchs were honored for their unselfish love and giving. A number of special mothers were honored.
What we wanted to do was to honor those mothers who have nurtured, loved, and cared for us through the years. And we give them one day, but they gave their lives for us. So it's just a small tribute to all that they've given to us. And what we did today was to say, honor your mother.
It is such a wonderful opportunity to come together and to share with the entire community the deep sense of gratitude that we have for our mothers and our grandmothers, because they did not just talk the talk, they walked the walk for us. And because they did, we are determined to save our children, just as they made the way for us.
This Mother's Day program was a part of the county's celebration of Older Americans Month. This was the 5th year that the mothers were celebrated at the center. With this week's District by District coverage, I'm Melissa Lewis.
You can catch more of your commissioners at work all this week with the rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FGTV. When we come back, a look at how county workers are celebrating Employee Health and Fitness Month. Back in a moment. Welcome back to Fulton Today, everyone. I'm Lynn Vaughn in for Shania Chavis Rucker. More details now on the HIV and heroin crises in the county. Both of these issues are on the rise, particularly among young people. But the county's task force on HIV/AIDS is hoping to stop that trend.
A tough topic led to an eye-opening discussion on HIV, hepatitis C, and heroin use in North Fulton.
I don't think half the parents, I don't even think most parents even know that their child for 20 bucks can buy a hit of heroin.
County leaders, the HIV/AIDS task force, and families of those impacted by heroin gather to seek community input.
We got to start making these kids aware about the choices they make at a young age. Growing up in a family with 2 brothers losing their life to drugs, it's kind of personal to me.
During the presentation at the Alpharetta Library branch, organizers said there were 82 heroin-related deaths in the county in 2015, which is a dramatic rise from the 4 in 2010.
Where there is an opioid epidemic and a heroin epidemic, an HIV and hepatitis C epidemic is not far behind.
The HIV/AIDS task force says hepatitis C-related deaths surpass HIV deaths now. And as many as 90% of injection drug users are infected with hepatitis C within 5 years. This community meeting is just one of the many steps the county and task force is taking to come up with solutions to these problems.
You have to listen to the comments from people who are living in a community before you can start coming up with strategies and plans and so on that involve that community.
Residents who want to give input to the task force can email drmt@mindspring.com.
And one of the health department's community partners is also combating the HIV problem through counseling sessions. Anise Incorporated offers substance abuse counseling and support services for individuals impacted by or at risk for HIV.
The HIV is very stigmatized, and so that is a burden that individuals that are positive, they can wear. So it's very important that they have a safe place to come that is confidential and private, that they're able to express how they feel on a daily basis.
Anise also teaches young adults how to respect themselves and their bodies, which they say can reduce high-risk behaviors like having unprotected sex. Anise hosts a number of free HIV testing events like this one at the North Lake Mall. Last year, the organization says it tested more than 1,500 people. They say 120 of those individuals tested positive for HIV, so they were linked immediately to healthcare professionals. To learn more about Anise, call 404-521-2410. And we Fulton employees are doing our part to stay active, especially during Employee Health and Fitness Month. Now, while May is the national observance for Employee Health Month, instructors hold exercise classes year-round for employees. This class is at the Juvenile Justice Center, and it incorporates popular dances into an intense cardio workout. Instructors say these classes lead to a more productive workforce.
People that exercise and work out, they make better employees. That's a known fact. And, here at the county, we just try to give them a good workout all year round, actually, to make sure they're at work all the time.
Fitness experts recommend exercising 30 minutes a day, even if that is broken up into 2 15-minute workouts. And if you haven't been active in a while, walking is the easiest way to get back into a fitness routine. And still to come on Fulton Today, children learn the value of $1 and how to save one. Stay with us. After years of work, a group of talented artists turns thread into a new art quilt exhibit. The Uncommon Threads exhibit at the Southwest Arts Center features 61 quilts. Members of the Sojourners, that's S-E-W Journers, Quilters Guild, created the traditional and contemporary art quilts. The exhibit started after several beginning quilting students began stitching the cloth 11 years ago.
The artists do a traditional and contemporary form of quilts, which is a lost art form, and we encourage everyone to come out to view these beautiful quilts.
This is the 12th year of the exhibit at the Southwest Arts Center. It will be on view until May 20th. And finally today, a group of youngsters learns the value of money during Money Smart Week at the library. The group of elementary-age children began by learning to differentiate between coins during the East Atlanta Branch Library event. The kids also practiced their addition and subtraction skills while learning the importance of putting money aside for savings.
We talked about how much they needed to save based on their income. So if they had $1, they needed to save 20% of their income, so they needed to save 20 cents for every dollar they had.
The kids even had the change to buy things at a mock store set up at the library.
We bought some pencils, books, and we got fake money to buy them, and it was really fun.
This was one of several Library Smart Week events. For more information on all of the many, many events at the library system, go to afpls.org. Before we go, our reminder that we want to connect with you online. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and watch for us anytime on our YouTube channel. That does it for this edition of Fulton Today. Thank you for being with us. I'm Lynn Vaughn, in for Sonia Chavis Rucker. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.